met when we were about 5. We had just started kindergarten, and it was just something about Maya. We just clung to each other. We didn't have to say anything. We just kind of understood each other.
It's really nice to have these past 4 years together before we go our separate ways for college. Both of our parents are, in academia, and then I can speak for my mom too. Having her be a professor, I definitely have lots of resources through her, not just because of what she can provide to me through university, being able to afford dual enrollment classes there because I get a tuition discount, but her also being able to have some kind of a title, which enables her to have more opportunities to go directly to the source, like to the superintendent or to the school board.
Come on, Maya, you can do this!
With how her job is, she has definitely more flexibility. It's not 9 to 5, and so that's enabled her to be with me at every track meet or choir concert. She's able to be a very involved parent. That's not because she cares more, but just because of the privilege she has with her job. She can contribute in different ways that maybe other parents would not be able to.
Can you come around and go to Miss Shipman's office? Very similar to what Maya was saying, but I also had 2 parents. So if one couldn't make it somewhere, I had the other one to rely on. And I also had my grandparents. They were there to support me whenever I needed them. And like Maya was saying, our parents hold these titles, and people are more willing to listen to them.
I grew up in York, Alabama. It is in Sumter County, one of the poorest counties in the United States of America, not just in Alabama. I went to York West End High School, which is still actually up and running, and I graduated from Sumter County High School, both predominantly Black, and it was the best experience of my life. The support of the teachers, how they were willing to support us as students. 12th grade year, I get accepted to the University of Alabama. When I get there and get ready to, sign up for courses, I have no financial aid. None of my paperwork has been processed. They can't find it. I can't go to college. My AP biology teacher pays my tuition to go to the University of Alabama. Here I am now, 3 degrees later, and it started from Sumter County High School.
And ask the proctors to give you some
Feedback.
As somebody who came from a different country, the most mind-blowing thing in America was the public education. The fact that every student had a right to a public education with their peers. Not just because it was free, but because that was for me the symbol of what you would think of as a democratic, a democratic ideal. Both me and my husband were very committed to our daughter going to a school where people looked like her and play, like people in our community who were diverse and who lived in our community. I think this is good. When parents like me stay in the school, because we have social capital, we have economic capital, and we have also educational capital, we can be really good advocates for the school system. Now, my daughter has not suffered the way a majority of her classmates have suffered because I'm a professor in the College of Education. I have had other resources. We've been trying really hard to be able to make sure that the school district can open up these resources for all the students. The history has always been that public education has been a fight. And we are going to continue to fight, and that's okay it's okay to have struggle, but it's not okay to lose hope.
We're both in orchestra together, and our orchestra is combined with all of the 3 city schools. I do wish sometimes that our high school looked a little bit more like that orchestra. Like if there were more people who kind of had the resources that we had, I know that there would be a lot more, we'd have a lot more bargaining power here to be able to get more, attention drawn to the students who don't have that many resources.
I want you to pull up, go to today's folder in Schoology, and I want you to pull up
came from a school system in an area that was primarily white and primarily at least middle class, if not higher.
Yeah.
I felt like my high school was held to much higher expectations than it is here, especially with kids coming from like low income communities and stuff like that. It's a big thing where it's just like, okay, this is what their family did and this is just what they're always going to do, you know? And so they kind of get stuck in that cycle.
All right, Daniel, what I want you to do is I want you to take the slinky and just...
I feel like I have really high opinions and really like high hopes of them. And I feel like it's something that maybe a lot of other people, not necessarily just in the school system, but just in general, like don't push enough on them.
Somebody tell me which way the energy is
When I have a student that's not coming to school, you know, and I'm like, I haven't seen this kid in 2 weeks, where is he? And I'm calling home when I'm calling home. When I finally get a parent and she's like, oh, I didn't even know he wasn't coming to school. I work night shift and he's supposed to get himself up and go to school.
Daniel, you stay still this time. All right.
What can we do to make sure that he gets here? And not just that that's 100% on her, but what can we do in conjunction with the parents to make sure that that happens?
As parents, we do have to show up, and we have to look at the whole picture. Why are the parents not showing up? You know, in what other ways can parents show up? Does everything have to be during the school day? Are there alternate times that we can make things happen? It can't just be about my kid. It has to be about what's in the best interest of all of our kids. And so I think that's one way we solve the problem, is stop thinking about, well, what's just best for us? What's best for all of our kids, because they're going to grow up into citizens, and then they're going to have to run this community.
And my only worry was for Christmas what would be my toy.
Hi, my name is Brianna Hanks, and I will be attending the University of West Alabama. Go Tigers! It's a bit unfair to hear about more, I guess, privileged communities in this town, how they're open to more opportunities than we are. But I wouldn't trade going here, because I've met some really great people and people who have that potential to be just as privileged as other people.